Guys, it's time for Breakthrough with Coach Lew. Coming to you live from Accelerate Life University, XLR8Life.com. Coach Lew will help you break through anything that's stopping you. Are you ready to get the motivation, the energy, the life, and all the success you really want and deserve? With no further ado, here's Coach Lew.
All right, here we are, guys. It is Monday morning. It is 2023. 2023 rolls in, and now what? What do you mean now what? It's Monday morning. I got to go to work. I got to do this. I got to do that. What's up, coach? What are we doing? And it's like we have jumped into another brand new year. We had all of this amazing energy prior to the end of the year. And people just going, hey, we've had enough of 21, 22, 2020. Enough was enough. We're ready to start a new year. We're ready to take responsibility. We're ready to do all this. And then are we going to do what we've always done? What have we always done? We've set some resolutions on New Year's Eve. New Year's Day, I'm not going to drink no more. I'm going to do this. I'm going to exercise every day, and I'm going to get in shape, and I'm going to finally lose that 20, 30, 50 pounds, 10 pounds. I'm going to fit in this bathing suit for summer. And by February, where'd it all go? It's gone. What do you think? You're like, oh, yeah, well, those things never last. Okay, so setting a resolution is like a set it and forget it mindset. You can't just set it and then go, okay, here we go. It's going to take care of itself all on its own. That's not how it works, guys. That is not how it works at all. So do you know why you failed to achieve goals before that you've set? Is it that you're lazy? No, probably not. There really aren't many lazy people. Maybe a little unmotivated, but I don't think you're lazy. Is it that you just don't know what you're doing? I wouldn't venture to guess that. I think most people have a pretty darn good idea what they're doing or what to do. What you're doing, you may not have a good idea. You might think you're up here on a level of I'm doing, and you're really doing at a level of this. I think I'm outstanding, but I'm barely pushing good. You got to get to the reality. You got to figure out what it is. So what do you think that the reason is that you failed to reach your goals? I don't think it's that you're lazy and uneducated and this, that, and the other, and all the kinds of excuses people might want to tell themselves. I don't think so. I don't think that's you. You know what I think it could be? Number one, you don't have a clear target. Let's face it. If you're looking through this, trying to figure out what I look like, okay, what happens? What happens there? Oh, got a second glimpse. that might be Coach. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? That's not a clear target. Now you can clearly see who I am. You can see my eyes. You can see a little bit of wrinkle there, whatever. What about not a strong enough reason? Okay, you might say, I want to lose 25 pounds, this year. And, okay, why? Because you want to see the scale look differently? Some people would say, well, yeah, that's kind of it. I want to see the numbers on the scale. Other people would say, no, because my health is going to fail me and I'm not going to see my kids grow up if I don't change it. You see a difference in a strong enough reason? Okay, well, I'd like to, look a little better, or my God, I want to live to see my kids. Somebody who's pushing 100 plus pounds overweight, a lot of times they have health issues that go along with that. Okay, we think that, our 5 or 10 pounds, we ate a little much over the holidays, got to get that off, is a big deal. But, for some people, it's life and death, guys. That's a reason. That's why you and I might not take that 5 pounds off after Christmas, and somebody else might be able to lose 150 pounds this year. And you go, how can they do that? I'm having struggles with 5 or 10 pounds. Well, that's a strong enough reason, my friend. All right, how about lack of a plan? This is the greatest thing this time of year. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do this. Let's do this. Yeah, I'm making $1 million. 2023 is my year. What are you doing? Going to work. You're not gonna do it. You're not gonna make $1 million going to work. Okay, or going to my office. I'm in business for myself. I'm gonna do it. What are you doing different? I'm doing the same thing I always do. Okay, well, maybe you're at $50,000 or $100,000 a year and you want $1 million. But you're doing the same thing you did last year. You're going in, you're serving the same clients. You don't have an active plan for growth. You don't know all the action steps. You don't have a map. Okay. Now, a lot of people go, you know what? I got really clear. I'm coach. Some of you all were on the workshop yesterday. I got my clear target, coach. I got my why, my strong enough reason why that we talked about. Got this. I made my plan. Why hasn't it happened? Well, what'd you do immediately when you made that goal? Well, I did the workshop with you. And then what? Well, then I closed the computer and I went and ate some dinner with my family and watched some Netflix and hung out. Okay, nothing wrong with spending family time. Nothing wrong with hanging out a little bit. Nothing wrong with watching something on Netflix once in a while, as long as it's not an all-day binge. But what did you do for your goal? Well, I'll get to that Monday, or next week, because this week I got to get back in the swing of things. That's the problem. There's the problem. The swing of things. You're going to get back in the swing of things. In other words, the same old shit from last year. Swing should be spelled S-O-S. Okay? Think about that. Well, I got to do this first. I got to, get my gottas out of the way before I can work on me. Well, you're never going to change then because gottas keep growing. Okay? If you keep letting those gottas take control of your day and take control of your life, you're going to be in trouble. You're not going to grow. You're not going to change. Okay? You get what I'm saying here. Okay? So what we've got to do is you've got to get that plan in effect, that plan happens first. Well, you might say, well, I got to get up at 6, take the kids to school and get this and breakfast. Yeah, there is no time for the plan in the morning. Okay, so you got to get up at 6 to do that. You hear what you're saying? I got to get up at 6. How about I want to get up and I will get up at 5 or 5:30 and give myself a half hour to work on my goals, or an hour. Guess what time I got up this morning? 10 after 5. Okay, the alarm is set for 6 to make sure that I'm ready and on the show and everything's ready. But that doesn't leave a lot of time for extra planning and goal setting and, the extra few things and stuff like that. We're waking up early, and when I went to bed, I said, I want to wake up at 5, and I do it 10 after. I don't want to wake up to the alarm. The alarm is the last minute, oh crap, I've got to get this day going. Gotta. You see that? You see that key word? Gotta. Gotta is like Gotti. It kills whatever gets in its way and tries to create progress. Because gotta likes to hold on to you, just like Gotti wanted to keep you in the family, right? You see the analogy there? You're not leaving this family. You're not leaving your gotta routine. Okay, you can't tell me that you got to do this, this, and this, and you can't do that because you can spare an extra half hour less of sleep. Go to bed a little earlier at night. Okay, well, I got to get stuff done at night. I got to get the kids down. Make them go to bed a half hour earlier. Tell your spouse, honey, I'm going to bed a half hour earlier. Take control. That's the deal here. And the number 4 reason after lack of the plan is the lack of action. You haven't done anything. And that's basically what we've already alluded into. You got all excited on the workshop if you wanted, or you did some goal setting, or you did some resolutions yesterday. You got all excited, ready to rock and roll. Whammo! Nothing. Crickets. What'd you do this morning so far? You're like, well, I'm going to get to it after the show, coach. I want to watch your show first. I'm honored and flattered, but I really wish you would have done something before you got to me, because it's not me going shove, 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 get going, because what are you going to do tomorrow morning? Maybe you need to do the show every day to get you on your toes. And there's some stuff coming up around the corner, right around the corner, that's going to rock. I'm so excited. I'm like walking on air this morning because it's starting to come to fruition. Okay. It's Coach Lew Inner Circle. What? What'd you say? Coach Lew Inner Circle, coming soon. Yeah, that's going to be a whole new interactive. We're not getting rid of the show. Breakthrough with Lew, Breakthrough with Coach Lew is going to continue at the same time. But I've got something coming up that for those of you that want to take things to the next level, like especially step 4 here of taking action. Yeah. But, okay, so it comes down to, if you have failed out, it's because you didn't do one of the 4 that I just talked about above. Okay? It's that you skipped a step, or you didn't do a step. You didn't have a clear target. That's usually a killer right off the bat. Not a strong enough reason, won't keep you going when the doing gets tough. Lack of a plan, you're floundering. Ooh, stop shaking. Wow, that was weird. Okay, I get so excited I start hitting the studio desk here, and it's like, beep. Remember in Shrek when oh, don't do that, shake the bridge. Yeah, well, I don't want to be shaking you. I don't want you guys out there going, get up the show with Coach and I'm shaking. And then the lack of action. Don't lack action, guys. That is a killer right there. Okay, so it comes down to you've missed out on one of the above if you've failed out in the past. Now, failing out doesn't mean failure. Did you learn? Then you didn't fail. If you didn't learn and you keep doing the same negative pattern over and over, or worse than a negative pattern you can get really sick of and you break through it. A routine pattern is comfortable. You won't get out of that. That's the trap of death. That's like the frog in the boiling water. You take a frog and you throw him in, I wouldn't suggest doing this, you throw him in a pot of boiling water, that boy's going to hop right back out of there. He's going to be like, hell no, you're not cooking me. You put him in a nice lukewarm pot of water and you keep turning the gas up little by little by little and you can boil to death. Okay? That's the trap of mediocrity, the average, the daily routine that is not a daily routine of push through and break through. Okay? Make sense? All right, here we go. So, where are we at here? Excuse me one second. I want to make sure that we are good. Okay, we are good on all channels. You're always checking because you never know. Technology. And that's what I've learned. I've learned from some of my mistakes. And I also learned from the fact that technology changes on a weekly basis, that to do my sound checks, everything else to make sure that I'm not, because I've done that. I've done some of the most phenomenal, and it's always the most phenomenal video where I'm like, and I'm going, what the heck did I say? It was so perfect. I felt it was the best video I'd ever shot. Of course, it's the one that we had a problem with. But no, that's why I'm checking. So the opposite now will apply to the goals you've reached. Let me just take a guess here. And the stuff that you have done, you had a clear target. It was very clear. And a lot of these times, these aren't things you set as goals. These are things that the life occurrences, like an emergency, something your family needs. And you get crystal clear that there is no other option but to get your spouse this surgery or your child this need that they have. You have a strong reason because you love them and you're not going to let any harm come to them. You don't lack a plan because you go, this is exactly what I got to do to make this happen. And you don't lack action because you don't go, well, I'll get to that next week. It's urgent right now, important. So when you look at the things you've really broken through in life, they're not always planned out goals, but let me tell you something, they follow that 4-part step process there. Okay, so it comes down to anything that you've hit and applied your goals to that you've reached, that 4 steps has been there. And, that 4 steps doesn't take equal time. It doesn't always take equal balance of I got to have equal why with equal what. And no, there's different levels because a lot of times a heavy-duty driving why is going to push you harder than the greatest plan in the world. Because the greatest plan without action or a reason to stick to the plan, you're gonna maybe go, oh, I'll get to it tomorrow. But if that why is super compelling, and we've talked about the power of why how many times on this show, and you might say, you sound like a broken record. Well, guess what? I'm going to be a broken record till you start applying it. There's the old story of the pastor, elder in a church, and he started giving the same sermon week after week after week, and about 6 weeks went by, and all the elders got together, and they're like, hey, I think Pastor Joe might be losing it here. So they had a little intervention, said, hey, Joe, some of every single word you've said has been exactly the same the past 6 weeks. And he looked at him and said, yeah, I'm going to keep saying it until you start applying it. What are you insinuating? You think I'm a senile old man here? He said, no. When you apply it, I'll stop talking about it and we'll go to the next level. And I was like, what a cool story that was, because it was so true. Because, we tell ourselves something, and, oh, it's a great idea. Then we don't apply it. We apply part of it. And then you start to fade away, and so does the goal. Okay, makes sense, right? Okay, stories are amazing. I always love really inspirational stories, and they don't have to be, the running down the beach with the Bo Derek music playing to be inspiring. Sometimes it's those little things you go, things that make you go, right? Okay, so we realize that it's a simple 4-step formula. If you apply it, it works. You're going to get your goals, or you're going to get really close. And see, here's one of the things that, and I've had an age-old argument with a friend of mine on this. She says, it's better to set a more realistic goal and crush it than it is, I say it's better to set a really far-fetched goal and get really close to it. And we have this argument about, which that could be emotionally draining on you because you don't hit your goal. And she's very goal-oriented, very awesome, just love the processes and the business person that she is. But when we sit down and have a bite to eat or talk or something like that, or have a little mastermind session, it always goes back to the same thing of, it's not, she thinks it's not as good for your psyche if you don't crush the goal. And I said one time, let's put this into perspective. What if your goal, you set a goal to make 100,000 and you make 120? You won, right? Okay, financially, you did 120% of your goal. And she's like, yep, see, that's what I mean. And I feel really good about that. I said, what if I set a goal to make $1 million next year and I make 990,000? She goes, you failed. I said, wait a minute, just play here a bit. I get that you have a very strong opinion, but you have 120, and this isn't accurate. But I'm really pushing the numbers just to have impact here. But you have 120 at the end of this year. I have 990. Who won? Matter of terms, but I would say I would rather get a whole lot closer to $1 million than make just over 100 and feel good that I made more than my goal. Now, you might be making 10,000 a year right now and go, my God, 100,000 would be amazing. 110,000, Coach, you better be loving that. And it's all relative, guys. I'm not saying that, you got to be the $1 million goal getter. That might not be your goal. But my point is it's better to set a loftier goal and come close, because of the growth that you get and the outcome that you get is more than setting that lesser goal and going over it. Okay, not that going over a goal is a bad thing, it's a good thing. But I'm just saying, in the grand scheme, if you get really close to a lofty goal, I would say it's better than setting a low goal that you go over and look at the end of it and go, well, what would I have at the end of this? The lofty goal, wow, I've really grown, I've really pushed. The other goal, well, I kind of knew I could hit that and, I did a little bit better, so I win! Whatever works for you. But again, I think that setting a loftier, stronger goal is definitely the way to go, even if you don't hit it, but you've gone massively in the growth direction and you've gotten so much more than you would have if you hadn't set the goal in the first place. Now, whichever level of goal you set, is important, because if you had no goal, I guarantee you would have done none of it. Okay? So the cool thing is, there's one more piece to all of this. And that's what I'm going to cover in our next goal creation workshop. Creation workshop, the 15th, and you'll really love that, guys. It's amazing. It's about an hour and a half, 2 hours max. Sometimes I over-deliver a little bit, but the deal is we get into that last little secret. And don't fear, it's not a super costly workshop. It's $29 for like having a coaching session with me. It's interaction. We're doing it on Zoom. Literally on the Zoom platform, so you'll everybody be able to see, and also we'll have Q&A to where I can unmute you and we can talk if you have some burning questions that we want to answer, or some guidance that you need. I love doing that. I absolutely love doing this stuff. So make sure you're there Sunday the 15th. It's at 2 in the afternoon Eastern Standard Time. Reason I'm doing it on a Sunday is because that should be no excuses. You're done with whatever you're doing on a Sunday afternoon. Work can't get in the way. And also don't forget, check out Heals. Guys, we're going into that time of year. Health, that's a big part of it. That's our 30-day course. It's on Accelerate Life, which is our learning platform, which teaches you, it gives you 30 days of one-on-one coaching like this, video coaching, where you just absolutely can go through the entire course, because it's more than eating, it's more than just exercise, it's stress related, it's breathing, it's hydration, it's balance. There's so much more to a healthy lifestyle. But I'm going to let you guys go get working on some goals. I gave you a 4-step process this morning that should absolutely get you in order and get ready to rock. Live with faith, energy, passion. Always live your dreams. Have an amazing day. And I will see you guys on the next roundabout.
Ready to take it to the next level? Tune in to XLR8Life.com for our live shows, encore presentations, life-changing courses, and live coaching with Coach Lew himself. As Coach Lew always says, live with faith, energy, love, passion, and always live your dream.